Today we will continue our exploration of mythology, delving into a realm closely related to the Slavs, the Scandinavian mythology. The history is vast, so let's begin without an extended introduction. First and foremost, it's essential to clarify that Scandinavian mythology isn't entirely separate and unique. It's rooted in the broader context of Germanic peoples. Consequently, there are Western branches, including the Anglo-Saxons, Germans, and Dutch, and an extinct Eastern branch, which once encompassed the Goths and Vandals. Scandinavian mythology evolved from Old Germanic mythology, with many of its features persisting in English and German mythologies until their Christianization. The Scandinavians embraced Christianity later, and not as readily as others, preserving a wealth of information. A special thanks goes to the Icelandic skalds, who, in the 13th century, transcribed the Elder and Younger Eddas among our primary sources. It's also worth noting that we're already familiar with the products of Germanic folklore in general. Elves, dwarves, trolls, giants, dragons, and werewolves all originated there, while modern pop culture has incorporated these characters from various European beliefs. Their original source, in many cases, remains Germanic. Now let's delve into the heart of Scandinavian mythology, the world tree, Yggdrasil. This ash tree stands at the center of their cosmology, housing 9 interconnected worlds. These worlds oppose each other in various ways. In the roots lies the realm of the gods, Asgard, opposing the kingdom of the dead, Helheim, located in the roots as well. Leading into Asgard is the Rainbow Bridge, Bifrost, guarded by Heimdall, and only the gods can traverse it. Asgard is also home to Odin, Freya, Valhalla, and Folkvanger, the final resting places of fallen warriors. Helheim, on the other hand, receives those who have died of old age or disease. Below, emerging from the roots, lies the world of the elves, Ljosalfheimr or Alfheimr. Above, from the roots, is the realm of the dark elves or dwarves, Svartalfheim or Nedavellir. To the north lies the icy Niflheim, and to the south, the fiery Muspelheim. Westward is Jotunheimr, and to the east, the realm of the nature gods, Vanaheimr. The 9th world, Midgard, the realm of men, isn't in direct opposition to any other world. It stands at the very center of the tree. However, this was not always the case. Initially, there existed only the abyss, Ginnungagap, in the place of the tree. Soon after, the first 2 worlds, Niflheim and Muspelheim, the ice and fire worlds, emerged from this void. Their interaction gave birth to the first ice giants, Ymir and the cow Audumbla. From Ymir came the 8-headed giant Thrudgelmir and his son Bergelmir. Audumbla, meanwhile, nurtured the first god, Asa. In an event shrouded in mystery, Asa, led by Odin, the grandson of the storm, slayed Ymir. This act led to the demise of most Jotuns, and from Ymir's blood, the world ocean arose. Bergelmir, the sole survivor, sailed to Jotunheim and became the progenitor of the Jotuns. On one hand, Ymir's murder marked the Asinur's atrocity, initiating the age-old feud between gods and giants. On the other hand, the Asinur employed Ymir's body to create the world of men, Midgard, filling it with humanity. Consequently, Ymir is viewed as a sacrifice that birthed a new existence. This distinction is pivotal in the Scandinavian worldview. Beings aren't categorized as good or evil, but rather as kin or strangers. Although the Asinur committed the act of killing Ymir, they also created humans, making them kin. In contrast, the Jotuns, being unrelated, are regarded as strangers and are in perpetual enmity with the Asinur. When forming Midgard, the Asinur utilized parts of Ymir's body. The stars took shape from the sparks of Muspelheim. Dwarves settled in the world's crevices, and the cycle of day and night was orchestrated by Sol and Mani, siblings who traversed the sky, fleeing from wolves. Following this period, a golden age ensued, during which gods and humans coexisted peacefully. It is within this era that most of the myths and legends unfold. However, this harmony was disrupted by a war between the Asinur and the Vanir, because humans exclusively revered the Asinur. In response, the Vanir dispatched the witch Gulveig to Midgard, whom the Asinur ultimately slew. Eventually, a truce was brokered between the Asinur and the Vanir. Hostages were exchanged, yet this war marked the beginning of the end. Eternal peace was achieved, but it also heralded the slow march toward the world's conclusion. What actually happened to the Scandinavian gods? The key lies in the division of the gods into two groups, the Asyniur and the Vanir, with no stark differences between them. The Vanir were known for their mastery of sorcery and their control over natural forces, while the Asyniur were more inclined towards the patronage of men, warfare, power, and wisdom. Leading the Asyniur was Odin, known as the All-Father, the god of wisdom and power, residing in his fortress Valhalla. From there, he would claim the fallen warriors from the battlefield, where an eternal feast awaited them. Frigga, Odin's wife, was the principal female deity, often depicted with a distaff, much like the Slavic Makosh. Notably, Odin, similar to Zeus, had a penchant for romantic liaisons, and from one such union with a Jotun and the earth goddess, Jotun, the renowned thunderer Thor, the patron of military valor, was born. Legend has it that thunder and lightning accompanied Thor on his military campaigns in Jotunheim. Beyond these renowned characters, other notable figures included Thor, the god of wisdom, Balder, the god of spring, Hermodr, the god of speed and messengers, golden-haired Sif, Thor's wife and the goddess of beauty and fertility, along with several dozen more figures whose relationships are detailed in numerous myths. On the Vanir side, there are only 4 well-known members, in addition to the aforementioned witch Gullveig. Njord presides over the seas, with Freya and Freyr as his offspring. Freya, the most captivating among them, ranks as the most beautiful in Asgard, second only to Frigga. She is revered as the goddess of love and leads the Valkyries. Accompanied by these valiant warriors, Freya joins Odin on the battlefield, riding in a chariot drawn by cats, where she and Odin equally divide the fallen warriors, who are then transported to his palace in Asgard known as Folkvang.
This video is brought to you by Thorum. Take a look at these rings. They have rings made from 4-billion-year-old Gibeon meteorite and genuine 65-million-year-old T-Rex bone. If you are a fan of Vikings, they have Odin ring, the Norse god of war, the Thor ring, and all of them are crafted by hand. Head the link in the comments and use promo code LIVINGHISTORY to get 20% off a truly unique ring.
And how could we forget the Jotun's Natrix Eater and everyone's beloved god of mischief Loki, the primary instigator of nearly all mythical plots? Initially, after the world's creation, Loki resided in Jotunheim with his wife, the giantess and witch Angerboda, from whom 3 formidable creatures emerged: the world serpent Jormungandr, the wolf Fenrir, and the queen of Helheim, the goddess Hel. Following the war with the Jotuns, the Asyniur took custody of these monstrous beings. The serpent was cast into the ocean, where it grew and encircled the earth. Fenrir was imprisoned and confined to a dungeon, and Hel was left to reign in the realm of the dead. Loki himself was brought to Asgard for his wisdom and cunning, though he later caused numerous problems for the gods. During this time, he managed to provoke conflicts with everyone, including an incident where he cut off Sif's hair, nearly incurring Thor's wrath. Loki also played a pivotal role in Baldur's death. However, it's worth noting that thanks to Loki, Odin acquired the 8-legged stallion Sleipnir, the ring of immortality Draupnir, the spear Gungnir, and Thor obtained his mighty hammer, Mjolnir. Apart from the Asyniur, the Vanir, and the giants, Scandinavian mythology introduces various other creatures. At the base of Yggdrasil, the World Tree, reside the Norns, sorceresses, and fortune-tellers. 2 other distinct worlds are Alfheim and Nidavellir, inhabited by light and dark elves, respectively. The light elves are the prototypes of the modern concept of elves, pure-blooded and more civilized than humans, sharing a closer affinity with the gods. In contrast, dark or black elves inhabit Svartalfheim, which can be translated as the world of the black elves. Dark elves are also associated with the Svartalfar, known as dwarfs in English literature. These beings dwell in subterranean realms and are esteemed for their mastery of blacksmithing. It's possible that Nidavellir and Svartalfheim are indeed one and the same. While Scandinavian mythology may not be as diverse in spirits and monsters, several fascinating creatures merit mention. Trolls, relatives of the Jotuns, inhabit the mountains of Midgard and lead reclusive lives. Additionally, the myths feature werewolves or lycanthropes, whose counterparts can be found in the mythologies of various cultures, often tied to the transformation into wolves. Among their kindred creatures are the Björns, wizards who can transform into bears. Huldr are enchanting women with cowtails who can captivate a man and lead him to the mountains. They are typically harmless but can become dangerous if you defy their will. However, if you truly love them, you may live a long yet challenging life. In some regions of Norway, the legends of the Holds still draw in tourists. There's also the myth of Rubazal, the mountain counterpart of the Leshy. Nixies are mermaids. Additionally, worth mentioning is the myth of the Wild Hunt, where spectral riders, accompanied by eerie hounds and led by Odin, Frisia, or elves, gather human souls and foretell calamities. The end arrives 3 years after the commencement of the coldest and most interminable winter. Ragnarök commences when the wolf Fenrir is freed from his restraints and his offspring devour the sun and moon. Jormungand emerges from the sea and the waters inundate the shores. This permits the Jotuns to utilize the Dagr Naglfar, constructed from the nails of the deceased, as they embark on the ultimate battle against the Asinur and the Vanir, under the leadership of Hel and Loki. Heimdall will sound his horn, summoning the warriors from Valhalla to engage in battle. As a result of this cataclysmic battle, gods and monsters will obliterate each other, and the fire giants of Muspelheim, led by Surtur, will incinerate the world with fire. Nevertheless, the offspring of Odin and Thor endure in Asgard, along with the last humans, Lif and Lifthrasir, who remain on Earth. From them, a new human race will be reborn. Hence, Scandinavian mythology once more conveys the notion that the demise of the old is accompanied by the birth of the new. The mythology of the Northern Germans has proven remarkably rich and captivating, and it's no wonder that its motifs are actively utilized in contemporary popular culture. This account provides only a concise overview, and rest assured, numerous facets of Scandinavian mythology remain unexplored in this text. Nevertheless, I trust you found it engaging and enlightening. Don't forget to subscribe and leave comments with your ideas for future videos. Farewell, folks.